Hey,
I'm doing great. It's great to get this chance to talk to you again. It's been almost 2 years. I don't know if you even remember me from 2 years ago or not.
I do, I do.
You do? Okay. You
Yes,
remember the Fargo Blues Fest?
yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Well, of course
I
you
do.
played there a few times. So
We lost the promoter up there.
who was it? Yeah, that's right. Yep. Uh Dan, he passed away uh during the pandemic.
Right, right.
Yeah, and so I don't know who the new promoters are. I didn't get to go last year because I moved into an apartment at the time, but I do plan on going this year because I think they got Walter Trout as the main headliner for
Maybe
Saturday.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, hey, it's good to see you again, man. I tell you, it's been quite a long time, and seems like it since the last time I saw you, you've become more successful than you know what to do with it. I remember we were talking about success and fame and blah 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 and all that stuff, and now it's like that's all out the window now. You know, it's like you're doing great now.
I'm still trying to. I'm trying to learn. If there's any change or what type of changes it's going to be. To have a successful project. It's only been out 3 weeks, and
But but
you know,
what I'm saying though is like, did you think that the great Joe Bonamassa would ever get a hold of you, or did you were you friends like beforehand, like or whatever?
well, we didn't know each other really well. I had met Joe, but I got a hold of the way I reached him was through some people that told me that he used to give me a play on his program. And of
Yeah.
course, I never believed it. I'm like, Joe ain't playing none of my shit on his program. You know what I'm saying? And come to find out that he was.
Yeah.
So I got a number to contact him and just told him that hey, I know what he did for Joanne Connor and was wondering would it be any possibilities he'd be interested in doing something like that with me, and that's how it got started. And it took about a year or so, a little over a year after the initial conversation for anything to start happening, probably about a year and a half. But
Sure.
then after that, everything started engaging and it went down.
I remember seeing like the Facebook videos and stuff of you and him hanging out, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? We live in a parallel universe now, or are the
Yeah,
worlds coming together, or what's going on? It's like I was
right,
confused.
right.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm happy to be able to do this interview with you, even after you release the new album. I listened to it and I listened to the whole thing, and it's it's very good. And I have a few favorites. I think my favorite is the song "Breaking News." I think that
All right.
not just because it was like released as a single. I like it because the way it sounds like an old '70s funk song, kind of like with the saxophone and everything and. Or like
Hopefully it made you think about the staple singers. That's what the vocal line, was patterned after in reminiscence of that,
well,
something maybe like how Pop Staple would do
it sounded great, and I mean, not saying that all the other stuff doesn't, but that was one of the songs that trickled to me. And then, of course, the message. You have to understand the message of what you're trying to sing. Because everything that you wrote in the song is basically true about today's times. So
it. Right. It's a pretty it's got a lot of resonance in today's world.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do a little quick introduction, and then we'll just kind of go into it. I don't need you for a long time. I just for maybe half an hour if you can spare that at least, and
Okay.
that'd be all right.
No
Hey,
problem.
what's up, everybody? This is Frankie Slauson, and welcome to another great edition of the Frankie Slauson Show right here. Well, it's on YouTube and probably on Facebook as well. We're not live streaming; we're just pre-recording. I tried the live stuff before, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And I just figure I'll just do a pre-record and then surprise you all with a little video like this that you had no idea that I was in the works of doing. And it surprised me to get a response from this guy or this guy's manager, because he had a different manager the last time that we spoke almost 2 years ago.
Right.
We did an interview, if you guys are following along, with the great Larry McCray here almost 2 years ago, before the weekend of the Fargo Blues Fest of 2020. And that was definitely an interesting blues fest for sure with the coronavirus and everything. I think it was like one of the first actual events that Fargo put on since that time or during that time, because a lot of
It, it,
people shut down. So, but
it
anyway,
was, it was very recent. It was very recent after.
yeah, yeah. But I'm glad, even because it's outdoors, I'm glad that they kept it going. Anyway, this man has a new album out. He hasn't released an album in a while, but he finally did, and he did it with somebody who you would never expect. You know, it's almost like, not saying that this guy is the greatest blues player of all time, you know, to a point, but Joe Bonamassa is good. He ranks up there. I mean, he is great. What are we kidding? He's great. But Larry McCray is also great, and we're happy to have him. We're going to talk about his new album called Blues Without You. I've listened to it. It's on Spotify. I have no physical copies, but I listened to it via streaming and on my surround sound. And you know what? It sounds so good. I figured let's have him be my first guest of 2022. So, Mr. Larry McCray, God, it's great to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
Oh yeah, we're happy to have you on, because I didn't really know how hard it was going to be to actually get a response, because it seemed like the last time with your old agent that he was kind of a guy who quickly responded like right away. Like it didn't take him long to not only help set up the interview, but like call me after I offer my phone number and talk about other things, and then offer physical release copies, blah blah blah, of your old stuff, and I'm just like, wow, it's like we got instant friends here or whatever. So I understand now with having a little bit of success, you know, and having a different manager, it's kind of, you know, it takes a little while. I feel like I had to go through almost Steven Spielberg to get Michael J. Fox here. So.
Well, you know, this is all new for me as well, and I'm just, everything is kind of like on a trial basis or first run basis. You know, you don't know what you got until you test it. So you know, these are the testing days, the proving days for me, and I'm just hoping that everything is solid. It seems to be pretty solid, and I'm just anxious to see what kind of changes maybe a new day brings.
Yeah, hard to say, but I know that the last time that we spoke, it was before a couple of days before the Fargo Blues Fest of 2020, and I do realize that we were supposed to like I don't know if we were going to hang out or something for a little while, but you took off or went somewhere or whatever, and then you never came back to come hang out with my brother and I for some of the rest of the event. I don't know where you went or whatever, but I didn't see you after that. Yeah, you said, "Hey, I'm gonna get a chair and we're gonna, you know, we'll sit down and we'll hang out for a little while and watch the show." And then you disappeared. I don't know if you had to go somewhere or whatever or what, but yeah, I didn't see you
I
after
don't.
that.
I might have got pulled off on the side by somebody else. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? I just thought, where the hell did he go? Where the hell did he go? He just
Well, I'll apologize to you now for that.
because you know we had chairs, you know, lawn chairs, because that's how they do it over there at the festival, because it's outside. And yeah, my brother, I tell you what, my brother was pretty impressed by your performer. Because he had never really experienced a whole lot of live concerts. Same with me too. I mean, we're kind of digging our feet into it too. I mean, we don't play anything or whatever, but just try to be a good audience and good crowd for good shows that come to our area. And he was very impressed by hearing somebody play a live guitar and all that stuff, because it just, you know, he always hears it on, you know, on recordings and whatever, but never in real life. So he was very impressed by watching you play and watching you sweat your ass to death, you know, when it came to, of course it was hot outside, so of course that's going to happen, but you know,
I'm grateful because it's so many people that don't realize what it takes to play an instrument, and it's becoming a lost thing. At least certain art is becoming lost. You know, you still got a lot of guitarists out there that play very progressive and play very well and everything, but it's something to be said about somebody who tried to bring soothing music also.
sure.
And I try to, you know, play music for the soul, music for, you know, for everyday occasion. And it's a different approach.
it's definitely what we needed, especially at that time during the start of the coronavirus pandemic, because nobody knew what the hell was going to happen. Nobody knew, what to expect, and like I said, everybody was was shutting their things down. So it's like there was like, hold on, somebody's trying to get a hold of me 1 sec. Anyway, it was like nobody knew what to expect. Everybody was shutting everything down. So Fargo decided to stay up, and I'm glad that they did, because I feel that we needed that. I mean, it was summertime, and you're outside. So if you're going to worry about wearing a mask or whatever, do it, but don't live your life in fear. Enjoy a concert and get your mind out of it for a little while.
I never did buy that stuff about outside anyway. I can see in an enclosure if you blocked in and everybody breathing the same air. But
Sure.
good grief, come on, outside. I mean, so be it. That's what I say.
Yeah. They really want to make sure that people were wearing their masks, and to this
Right.
day, I think all it was just a way to, I don't want to get too political, but I think you and I can agree that the masks, they don't work. If you can smell a fart pretty easily wearing a mask, and they're not going to go away. Maybe it's not the right thing to say during an interview, but hey, we're improvising today, so and you're Larry McCray, so you don't care nothing. Well, we're not gonna talk offensive things or whatever, but we're just
No.
have a good time.
To each his own.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm just saying that's how much they work, So it's like, to wear it outside. I'm just glad they gave us the option at the time. And now it's like things have calmed down a lot, and it's like now we don't talk about COVID as much. You don't hear it too much in the news, but whatever. There's a lot of BS going on in the world, and that's why we have the blues, and that's why we have you helping us to with your new album. I tell you what,
with our daily get on. That's right.
That's right. And your new album, Blues Without You, I don't know where it stands like in the charts or whatever, because I never really looked that far, because I don't have access to stuff like that. But I would say you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Well, I think it's holding at #2 for 3 weeks in a row. So I don't care about, long as it can have staying power and stay up there somewhere in the top 10, seem like that would be pretty good.
Yeah. Because it seems like, because they kind of treat you like you're a fresh new artist, even though you've been doing music for a long time, but just like a breaking new artist, Larry McCray, never heard the guy before. Oh, okay.
Well, that's just how hard it is to get before new people, get before new audiences. And so if it takes being a rookie or whatever the case may be, so be it. I'm just glad to be doing things and to be doing positive things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And positivity is what we need. And it seems like the majority of your album is pretty positive for the most part. I mean, it's, you got good instruments, you got real instruments, and you got real songs, storytelling songs. And I mean, can you kind of break down the process of, I'm sure you've probably been asked this question already. I don't know how often you've done interviews or since the release of the album or whatever, but kind of break down the process of when Joe got a hold of you, and then kind of just tell us how this whole thing got created.
Okay. Well, as I told you before, we had a phone text conversation, and we talked on the phone a couple of times, and about 1.5 years, a year and 8 months passed. And so finally, July of 2021, July of 21 rolled around, and he had said to me that he wanted to come to Detroit, that him and Josh Smith would meet me in Detroit, and that we would, pursue the record and this and that and the other. Well, 2 or 3 days before coming, he called me and told me that, hey, where you live, we want to come to your house. So, I did a rush cleanup job and had everything ready for them to come in. They came in, and they spent 3 afternoons here, morning all the way into the evening. Wow. And we basically what they wanted to do was see what kind of songs or what kind of material I had. So I spent the days, playing acoustic guitar, showing them the songs and everything, and they made their notes. And I guess from what they heard, they already knew kind of what they were planning. So everything kind of stayed to form, but they did a couple of nice arrangement moves and a couple of tweaks here and there on some of the songs that really made a difference. One good example is Breaking News. Another example was Blues for Paul. Some of the real orchestrated big
Sure.
moves, big breakdowns and stuff like that. That was more of their idea.
Okay.
So, but after they came and spent them days here, we got to know each other a little bit. And 2 weeks later, I went out to Los Angeles, out to the East West studio out there. And I got a chance to meet Joe's whole crew, his recording crew, and all the people that he worked with out there. And it was a great experience, real great experience. Had Reese Winan as one of the studio musicians, Lamar Carter on drum. We had Travis Carlton on bass.
Sure.
Joe and Josh jumped in on guitar. I was on guitar. So it was just a whole big band, a big happy family.
Did he have his girls that he normally uses for his stuff at all performing on your tracks at all?
They weren't there at the time that we did the tracking and stuff, but they came in later.
Okay, because I know they're very impressive. I've listened to pretty much anything that Joe's come out with, and I'm always impressed because especially when he had the women to the group. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are really good, and they know where they fit, and they know how to make it fit, and they really are good. I really enjoy playing with them.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And like I said, it must have felt like kind of like a weird dream because it's like, here nothing's been going on. We're in a pandemic, and all of a sudden, the legendary Joe Bonamassa wants to hang out with you and come to your house, and I hope you,
Dude,
I hope you fed him well.
No, you know what? I had come to the point that where that I had said that this year I was coming off the road. That I wasn't going to work as hard as I had been doing, for
Sure.
over 40 years,
Sure.
and I got old enough to draw a pension this year from a General Motors job that I did in my 20s and my early 30s.
That's right.
And I just wasn't intending to run the road like this, but since that, he's taken a position that he did, and I got the blitz and momentum behind me, I'd be silly not to try to take advantage of it.
Sure.
But it would have been much better on me, easier on me 30 years ago than now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I forgot that because I think you told me in the first interview that we did that you had a lot of different, that you did some jobs like before the while you were trying to do music and everything. I suppose living in Detroit, it's like there's a lot of people that are great entertainers that kind of had to start off from somewhere, and Detroit's kind of a harder town. I don't know. I've never been there. It looks. I mean, I'd love to come visit because it seems like a nice big city. Seems like they got a lot going on, but then what's the positive is also the negative too. But I mean, so
Right.
do you live right in Detroit then, or on the outskirts? Or?
Most definitely not. I live two hours north of Detroit.
Oh, so like a suburb kind of or whatever.
Well, 2 hours north. It's not even Detroit at all. But
okay,
when you live in Michigan, people that don't live here think that everybody.
Well, I suppose, yeah. I suppose.
Nobody knows Saginaw and Munger and Ishpeming and all the little towns. So
is there Grand Rapids, Michigan too? I think there is.
Great town.
Yeah.
Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Detroit.
Yeah.
Those are all good towns.
Well, I mean, then there's Battle Creek. There's that's Del Shannon country, I believe. You know the great Del Shannon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a Michigan boy, but or he was anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's very, because I don't know what I would do if somebody actually like came to my house that I really respected and wanted to help me with my career. I think I'd be so humble. I probably start crying just for no reason. Just that's how I'd feel.
Well, it was a humbling experience, that for sure. And still right now, for whatever reason, it's just the way of the world, it's just the way of the business. But you know, somebody like me never would have probably got a proper opportunity had it not been for somebody like Joe.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, that's just the way the business is, the way it's set up. And a lot of times, you know, opportunity is not equally dispersed, and it's hard to come by.
Well, yeah.
You have to just try to get in wherever you can, as they say, get in where you fit in.
And as you being an older guy too, like you were saying, it was harder on you. But I suppose once you got used to the grind again, I mean, once you know, it's been a while since you've done some recordings, I'm sure. So what is it like recording with Joe Bonamassa? Because I know that guy, you know, when he, I mean, he takes his job very seriously, and he really wants to make sure that everything's perfect. So how did you know that it was going to be perfect after so many different rehearsals and, you know, just trying to get the right sound, so to speak?
Right. Well, he definitely had a vision coming in, and he knew what he wanted. And as far as for me, you know, everything came out the way that I wanted to as well. I just wish I could have honed my vocals up a little bit more.
Okay.
I had some things that I would have tried to go for had I had more time, or you know, a couple of more opportunities. I still would have tried to tighten up in a couple of spots. But for the overall consensus, I think we did pretty good. And I'm just happy. I mean, you know, I'm gonna ride it as long as I can.
Was that your first time going to LA, or have you been there before?
Oh, no, I'm an old dog. I've been on the road for 40 years, so I've been.
Well, I don't know where you've been. I mean, I've probably been everywhere.
In the United States.
Okay, okay.
Not a state I haven't been to, including Hawaii and Alaska.
I was gonna say, have you been overseas? But I'm sure you've been over England and everything like that. Yeah.
I started going in 1990.
Okay. Yes. I'm trying to remember a lot of stuff from our last conversation, even though it's been a while. But and a lot of things have changed in that time, which is kind of for the best. You know, it's great to see you know somebody actually have an interest in working with you. You know, that's kind of a big name that can help you get past the bystanders of like I don't know what it costs or what it takes to create an album, but I'm sure it costs a lot of money, especially depending on what type of studio. And I think he owns his own studio, so but I don't know how if he still pays somebody to maintain it or all that stuff. So yeah, I'm sure it's expensive.
Oh yeah, you can run up a lot of money in a little bit of time, you know. but I mean, you know, I think that we maximized everything. It was no time wasted, and the album was cut in 7 days.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Top to bottom.
Wow. Okay. Is that kind of a record or for you, or like is that how mostly your stuff kind of has gone before when you just record?
I'm used to pressure. I mean, you know, that's usually the way it is. They don't give you a lot of time to get it done, so you have to go in there,
sure,
and just grind it out. You know,
it's like preparing for that final test. You know, it's like here we are. You know, it's either make it or break it. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, though. That is awesome. And so what songs? I mean, I'm sure the whole album you love no matter what because it's your baby. You created. You know, it's something that nobody can ever take away from you no matter what. But like what, you know. Are there some songs that kind of carry with you that that you love to perform, or do you perform the whole album when you go out now and play?
I like to be able to go out and play the whole album. That's my goal. Right now, I'm doing Breaking News. I'm doing Mr. Easy, Down to the Bottom, No More Crying, and Good Die Young.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm intending to add on as we get more comfortable with it, you know, here in the next short time. Hopefully I will be doing the whole album.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I quite enjoy playing Mr. Easy and Down to the Bottom. Them are two of my favorite ones to play. And also What Does It Matter?
Yeah, because what was you had I think was it Blues Without You? I saw a video anyway that you made. Was that Blues Without You, or was that Down to the Bottom? when you made a music video anyway, I forget which one it was for the song. I apologize, but
Down to the bottom.
down to the bottom. Okay, because was that you were like grandson or son or who was that kid with you?
That's my active kid. That's supposed to be my kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know you had a, if you had like 1,000 kids or whatever, like some people do. I don't know. I don't know what you do in your private life, but I just remember seeing that being a key factor. Like, who's this kid? Is fishing with
Yeah.
Larry? Is like,
Well, it's it was a father-son scenario, so
yeah,
I tried to write in form in terms of what is relatable to anybody who have that situation in life. Any father and son, that could have been any father and son.
sure.
So that's how I try to write about commonalities, but in general.
Sure. Well, it was a nice video. I enjoyed it. Just like listen to the song. Whose idea was that? Joe's idea to do video, or was that your idea? Or
I really don't know. I turned everything over to them, and I've been letting his PR department decide on that. I'm not an expert. If I knew how to be successful and all that, I would have did it a long time ago. So I'm wide open for coaching. You know what I mean?
So if they want another video, you'll be more than happy to do one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Where did you film the down to the bottom video? Because it seemed like you're out in the lake or somewhere.
That was on the Cumberland River down in I want to say Gadsden, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. You were way over there. Oh, wow.
I was east of Nashville by about 2 hours.
Okay.
Down off on a big reservoir.
I think Joe has a place in Nashville, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
But wow, okay, it looked beautiful over there. It's just like wow, it's like
it absolutely was. It was a cool lodge, And Sharon Corbett, one of the ladies that worked for him, already knew about the place, and she suggested that we go there.
Okay.
And that's how we end up on that place.
And how long did it take for that to get complete?
About 8 hours.
Okay.
Yep. It was an all-day thing. We went and spent from about 10 o'clock to 6 or 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Afternoon.
Like a regular work day, 8-hour day. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's cool though. I always kind of wonder how the process of music videos is. You don't see a whole lot of music videos nowadays, and like back in the day, there used to be music videos for everything, and now it's like, if you make one, it's like, sometimes you can do it if you know how to do it yourself. You can just do it yourself and be successful. But back in the day, you need a crew and you need all these things,
production and all that stuff.
I mean,
when something is new like that, no one had never seen video performances and video performance production. So it was a big thing for a long time, and they just overkilled it, and people got burned out on it.
Sure. Well, you remember like the CMT, Country Music Television? It used to be all nothing but music videos all day long. It's like that's all they showed, all new stuff here, old stuff there, 24 hours a day. MTV was kind of like that too back in the day, and now it's like now we don't really, now we don't see much of that unless a YouTuber wants to make a video or something. But anyway, like I say, I mean, I'm very happy for you. First of all, it's great to finally be able to talk to you after almost 2 years, and I hope one day we see you again, in Fargo or Grand Forks or wherever whenever you come to the area again. Because I live only 2.5 hours away from Fargo, or about 2 hours away from Grand Forks. So I mean, if you ever get come to the States or whatever.
How far are you from Twin Cities?
About 6 hours.
Oh, so it's quite a ways.
I heard that you were coming to that, or seen that you were planning on doing a show. I mean,
we were up there last weekend.
Yeah, I did see that. I was just like, if I would have only known about that, I probably would have made, because it's not hard at my job to get time off. I went to the cities last year. I'm a big wrestling fan, so AEW had a event over in the Target Center in Minneapolis, and my brother and my brother-in-law, we went down there last November for. It was supposed to be in St. Louis, but for some reason they got moved to Minneapolis. So that was my first actual pay-per-view experience, and man, I tell you, there's nothing like a live event, even for concerts or anything. It's like live events is where it's at, that's for sure.
Y'all had a good time then.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think you would have had a good time. They come to Detroit all the time. Like the WWE just was in Detroit not too long ago. So, I don't know if you follow that or not, but in your spare time.
I have been known to watch a wrestling match.
Hey, gotta like other things too. That's why it's called having pop culture in your life, being cultured. Knowing some things. Not just knowing one thing. But anyway, is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as your album goes, or like I said, I don't know how often you've been interviewed, and so I don't want to try to be a repeat of questions or whatever.
I just encourage the people, the true people who know the music, who know the form, to go on and catch a preview of it. Go to the stream or whatever you got to do to get a preview and to check it out. I think it's something on there for all blues genre. It's the straight ahead lump. It's the more contemporary ballad. It's the old funky groove. It's got a lot of diversity on the album, and I really encourage the people who haven't heard it to give it a shot. And I think they can find a lot of good stuff in there.
And I'm guessing it's on it's on Spotify. So my guess is it's on all streaming platforms, so people can listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody wants to get a physical copy, how would they do that?
I do believe Amazon.
Okay.
Amazon and Joe Bonamonte's site.
Oh, sure.
Amazon and at Joe's site also.
Okay. Well, then that sounds great. I appreciate it, man. Man, this has been wonderful. And
this has been too cool, man. I appreciate you having me on. Yeah.
Well, I figure I owe you another interview, and I figure sooner or later you're gonna surprise us and do something. And and even if you didn't do anything, new, I would still want to try to interview you again just to see what you've been up to.
Right. So, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just trying to play the blues. I'm working with a new agency, and they're giving me lots of work, and hopefully we'll make it to it's all new towns to me. A lot of it is new towns. So I mean,
sure.
The people that have enough interest to come out and support some of the shows, come on out and check it out.
Well, I suppose the new people in charge of the Fargo Fest hasn't gotten a hold of you yet, I suppose, huh?
Not yet, not for this year. No.
Well, if they do, or hopefully again one year they will, and we'll definitely get together again. Maybe this time we'll actually interact and we'll hang out for a little while, because
I don't even know who to contact anymore in Fargo, but I'm going to tell my people to try to concentrate on it and see if they can't reach somebody.
Yeah, or somewhere in the Dakotas, even if it's not the festival. I mean, they got Moorhead, they got Grand Forks, they got lots of different places that you can play.
Okay.
I say the Dakotas because they're closer to me. I'm in Minnesota, but there's not much around my area that people, would actually go to, unless you don't mind performing for a smaller crowd. In a little town called Thief River Falls, Minnesota, they have a place called the Ralph Eggleston Arena. Well, they have one in Grand Forks, but they also have one in Thief River. And the one in Thief River can hold probably about 4,000 to 5,000 people, roughly about. Right. So I don't know if that's a big crowd or a small crowd to you, but we're always looking for artists to come down that that don't cost $1 billion to want to come and play. So just call the right people, I guess. I don't know. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks again for being be my first guest of the new year.
Bros, may the blues be with you, and until the next time. Whoa.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Take care now.
You too. Bye.